Hello, I'm Czardus. Grab some coffee, sit back, and chill as we build in Anno 117 Pax Romana. I am today going to show you how to start the game, and this will be a beginner's guide in 3 parts. Today's part 1, and then over the next couple weeks we will get the next couple parts. But what I want to show you is we're going to go to New Game, and then we're going to do the end list today because I want to be able to show you a lot of how to start and a lot of what's going on in the game. You can do the campaign, or you could check out my own coverage of part 1 of the campaign as well. That can be found on my channel. So we're going to go ahead and hit continue. And then for the profile, this is just whatever you want. You can pick whatever profile you want. It's similar to other stuff. We're going to just go with whatever name that it gives me. I do like blue. It's my favorite color, so I'm going to have that as my banner. But then we'll just do like, I don't know, a bird for the little sigil. And then we'll go to difficulty. We're going to play on normal because I recommend that anybody starting out begin on the easiest difficulty level. I always recommend that. Then we'll go to governors, and if we can, we want to have as few as we can to get started. So we're going to start with just one, with just us, which does mean that we will have a little, actually, you know what, we will add, let's go ahead and have 2 of them. Okay, and we're just going to add Dorian. And the reason for that is that Dorian is not very aggressive, does not expand much, and it does not progress too much. So I think Dorian will be your best bet at an easy rival. The other ones, we've got Tarragon, who will be a little bit more aggressive and also will be an Albion. And then this one will be not as aggressive, but will expand and will also be an Albion. So I think we'll just start with Dorian and have that as the one rival. We're going to go nice and easy. Then overview, we're just going to review here. We've got just one other governor. We have normal difficulty, and we have that. So we're going to select a province, and we will go with Latium, which will be great for beginners. Again, I recommend anytime you start a new game, you go with the recommendations for beginners. Okay, so it's loaded up, and we now have this button down in the bottom right. You can click Set Sail, and it'll do a nice little cutscene. I'll let you watch that on your own. Okay, now I've already paused the game. I hit pause, or I hit spacebar, sorry, to pause that. And also, I've changed my hotkeys to be the number 1 will increase the speed, and the like tilde that is right next to the number 1, to the left of the number 1, will slow down the game. And that is just for my own stuff. So you might see me moving that, but that's the buttons that I'm pressing. Now, looking at the map. So we've got this nice map here, and this is the starting island that we have here in Latium, what's it called? But anyway, this is our town or our home. You can see we can move around. We don't see anything else on the map. What we're going to do right away is we don't have anything in our flagship, so I've selected it, and we're going to immediately send it out exploring. Then what we want to do is we can come down here to construction, and we can build roads, we can build houses, a warehouse, and we can look at tools. These are just different tools for changing things around: demolish, relocate, upgrade, copy, and a cosmetic thing to change the look of things. You can also right click to get a nice little wheel to pop up, and that will have all of your construction things and your tools right there. You can change it if you want. You can edit to have different things in that wheel. But what I want to do, we've got 30 wood to start, and we want to make sure that we are generating wood. If you click on wood, you can see what you can build for that production line. So there's a woodcutter, which we will put in a forest, and then a sawmill. Before we do that, though, I want to get some roads built. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that the lumber mill is that what it's called? I want to double check that. Yeah, the woodcutter. That's what we want the woodcutter close enough to the sawmill that the production from that can connect to the sawmill. Then, so we're going to go ahead and put this a little bit in here. We'll put it right here. And then we're going to build the road on this side like that. So that is now connected. It's 96% efficient, which is pretty good. Then we will get the sawmill. And when you hover it here, you can see it changed the color of the road from brown to green. That is the distance that the sawmill can pull its resources. And you can see as I move it away from the timber, it is getting the road changed color. If I put it over here, we want to make sure that it can reach the dock. The dock is going to be your warehouse, and everything needs to be connected to a warehouse for the goods to get delivered over there. What I want to do is I want to get this, I think, maybe we can get it up here. Although I think what we're going to do is these trees are going to eventually be gone, but we could permanently have wood production right in here. And so what I want to do then is I want to get our sawmill close enough to here that we're connected to the port, which we are. We'll put it right here so it can come all the way there, but then we can also get another woodcutter over here because the woodcutter takes 30 seconds. The sawmill takes 30 seconds as well. So we're going to want 2 sawmills eventually. 1 will be enough for now. Then we're going to bring the road right up into the map. And we're going to build some homes. They don't need to be close to where the workers go. This game does not care about that. And then we're going to just start making some blocks in here. And we'll get 2 blocks built. And then we go back to the road. If we go and click in the middle of the block, it will go ahead and build the road all the way around that, which is a really useful feature. We don't need to build the warehouse. I just clicked on it to get the little circle to go away, but we don't need one yet because we have this here. I'm going to go ahead and unpause the game now. And now we've got some people moving in, so we can click on them. They are called Liberty. I'm going to call them farmers because that is easier. And then when we click here, it's going to tell us about these different resources. So one is sardines. It is going to increase the income by the ones that it is connected to, and then it will increase the population as well. And then, okay, yes, Dorian, nice to meet you. We'll take a look at you in a moment. And porridge as well. So we're going to pause again, especially because you can see over here is our competitor, and they are just getting started. Very nice. They don't have much either, so they're going to start at the same speed as us. And that is nice to know. Now, sardines grow from a fishing hut. They do not require fertility. Other things, let's talk really quick about fertility. Each island has different fertilities. So you can see this island has mackerel, flats, murret, snail, oyster, iron, and gold ore. Dorian instead has grape and sturgeon instead of the flats and the iron. So a lot of it, like these things, you have to have the fertility in order to get those to be produced. But sardines do not require fertility. So we're going to go ahead and just put this here. That will immediately start to produce the sardines. And then anything that it is connected to, I believe, will generate some, or it will generate income because it is, that's the way it works. Porridge. We're going to need an oat farm and then a porridge stand. And so oat farm is going to need grass, or like open land, essentially. And you could turn it put it over the forest and then put your field over that and the forest would go away. But we're going to go ahead and just put this over here. And yeah, we'll put it there. Put the oat farm right here. And we're close enough to the port, which is what we wanted. And then we want to go over here and click oat field, because this needs 80 squares of an oat field. Now, I want that to go behind the building as much as I can. And we'll just go like that. Then we'll get a tiny bit more in here. So that has all of the outfield that it needs. And then we can get the porridge stand. The porridge stand, we want to put that closer to the town. Although I guess it doesn't matter because it's not showing any other things as we put them near houses and other buildings. It will show a little icon above that we'll see a little later. But for now, we can just put this right along here and we'll double check processing time is 1 minute for both of those. So we can go ahead and unpause and that will start to produce as well. Now, another key thing that I want to do really quick is I want to come down here to the trading post and we are going to, it doesn't have any resources yet. Oh, there we go. So now I'm going to click on one of them and I'm going to go to all goods and I'm going to tell it sell all goods. And then I'm clicking in here to change and I want it to sell anything that we have in surplus of 25. So if we have more than 25 of something, it will go ahead and sell. And it will sell that to any ships that come by to purchase from us. Like Dorian might send a ship over and try to buy it from us. And of course, we can click up here on Dorian and we can say, okay, yep, very nice. We'll send a polite greeting. Just start to have some good diplomatic relations, which you can see by coming over here to diplomacy. Okay, Dorian likes us. We can come over here. We're at peace right now. And we have an okay score there. Then there's also the Emperor, which we'll find at some point. I'm not sure where the Emperor is yet. And we've got tutorials. Okay, what is this? Somebody stopped us and is wanting us to help him. We can seize the goods, or we can just kind of buy the supplies. We will get... we'll get 20 wood out of that for 400 gold. We'll go ahead and do that just because that will make people happy and be a little easier. We are losing money, so we're going to want to be careful about that. Here you can see we have a surplus of workers, so we can start to produce more. If we want, we could get another bit of, I think actually we will go ahead and get another oat farm in here. And then again, we want to go ahead and build the field. We'll come all the way down here and get this out as far as we can like that. So we've got 2 oat fields. We'll put another porridge stand in here. We want to make sure we're not reducing the effectiveness of our woodcutter. So we're going to put it over here instead. And our boat has discovered a new island. So that's going to show up here. And we can check here we have grape and sandarak fertility, which is different than elsewhere, and a mineral deposit, which will be useful as well. And that's not settled yet. So one thing to note, if we go over here to this beach, we will be able to see what resources we need to send in order to settle another island. And that might be worth doing pretty quickly so that we can claim more land. In the meantime, we are generating a little bit of income. We get 12 from our residences. I think we'll go ahead and build more homes just in order to get more in here. I like to start generating more income. And then we'll get the roads around them like that. Now, over here, our flagship is at the beach. And you can see when we click on this here, it will tell us if we spend 22,000 gold, or denarii, it will go ahead and settle that island. We don't need the resources for it. That is good to know. We're going to send the flagship over to the next corner of the map and see what else they can find. Here we have more things available to build. We can click here and it will unlock. And we have the market and the tavern. Those are great things to build. The market will be a center gathering place for things to be delivered. We want that close. You can see now we have an arrow going up. So any building that has that arrow is going to have a +1 to its population, a capacity, and a +1 to its income. And we'll go ahead and put that way out here. And then the same thing with the tavern. The tavern, though, is going to cost money to... Yeah, each one has a -10 to maintenance, but I think they will both be worthwhile to build right now. So overall, they will generate stuff. And then we immediately unlocked more here. We now have tunips and pilius, which are two things that the people want to have. Now, we unlocked another, or discovered another island. This one you can see has some good fertility as well. Hopefully we'll find some closer to home. We discovered another island. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. But for now, let's go ahead and get some of these going. So this one needs hemp and a spinner. Hemp is another thing that is on every island. And I think we'll put this over here. What is the field that it needs? It does not say. Okay, so what we're going to do then, because we've got a huge surplus in our population, bring the road along this way. And I want to get more timber going. Now, this is too far from the warehouse, but it is close enough to a sawmill. So we're going to go ahead and put this here, and then we'll get another sawmill right here. So even though this can't make it to the warehouse, it can deliver directly to the sawmills. Then we'll get the hemp farm in here, and that needs 60. It has to connect or like touch this. So actually I want to move this. So moving, we're going to come here. I right clicked on my wheel and I came over here. We're going to put it right there. And I don't want that tool anymore. There we go. I want to get the hemp field and get this up to 60 of them. Like that. And then we'll get a spinner. Now, was that close enough? I want to know. I hope it was. Yeah, I can make it all the way to the warehouse. So the spinner, you can see, it has a +1 income effect. So we're going to get that close to town. We'll put it right next to the market. And that will connect to all of those and be really good. Now look at this. We found several more islands. This one has limited fertility, but it is a nice little size there. This one has marble. That is a new one that I don't think we've seen yet. And gold, which would be a good one to get. Here we have resin, which is another thing we don't have a lot of. And olive. This is the first one we've seen with olives too. And then lavender. That would be a really useful ship, or a really useful island. I started thinking about my ships. And so the next thing you want to do is you can click here on ships, and then you can find your flagship easily that way. This one is coming over here. We want it to go all the way to the next corner. So that will work. And then we are still losing money though. So we want to continue to get more people on the island. So what we're going to do is come back to build, and we have the tunics going. We don't have the pilias. So we're going to get a sheep farm next. This is too far from our port. So I think what we'll do is we'll bring a road this way now, put it right about here, go like that, and then we can get this here, and that is close enough to the port now. We can put the sheep there, and then we'll get, they need different sheepfold. It needs 3 sheepfold there. And then we need to have a pilias. So the sheep are processing at 30 seconds each. So what I want to do is get a second of these. And then can we fit that there? Not quite. Would have been great to get it in there. Valeria, I did not know that we were going to have 2 of you. I thought we only had 1. Interesting. But I do want to come in here and see if we can just relocate the sheepfold. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to relocate. We'll right click again, grab this, and we're going to move them back just 1 so we can fit our pilias right here. Although that is going to give us a boost. So we want this out here close enough to the warehouse. How about right here? And that made me wonder, is this is not, the spinner can't be here. The market also is not close enough. So, you know what? We're going to move both of these as well. Put the market over here. I want to make sure, I don't think the tavern matters, but this one we will move. Because we want to make sure that they're getting the resources they need in order to produce. So this is Valeria over here, and Valeria is just going to be one that we can trade with. If you come here to trade routes, you can see here that we have, they are requesting uncut marble, oats, and clay, and they're offering sardines, which we don't really need, but we automatically have trade rights with them, so we can if we produce those things, like we are producing oats, we can immediately ship that over there. Whereas Dorian, we have to get good enough relationship to have an open trade right thing, and then we can go ahead and trade. But again, we don't have that relationship, so we can't do that yet. The ship is continuing to find more islands with good fertilities. I am very interested to sell the oats to that, to Valeria or whatever their name was. We don't currently have any spare oats because they're going right into porridge, but that would be a possible thing for us to produce and provide. Now, I do want to check here. If you click on a house, it will show you what it needs to upgrade. And they still need their tunics and pileus to be provided. So the tunics, we're not quite, we do have the sheep here in storage, and they are being produced, where the pileus is being produced. Same thing here, we have a little bit of hemp here, and so those are being produced, and we will get there. Oh, look at that, we found the governor. Okay, now, so this, although maybe this is not the governor, this might be the bad guy. Yeah, these are the pirates. So we actually want to make sure that we are away from here. It would be pretty bad if we lose our flagship. Do not go anywhere near them yet. So we do not want to fight yet. So that is one thing to keep in mind. You will have pirates. If you have played Anno before, you will be aware of that as well. But now we're back here. We are starting to get more and more income, which is good to see. And we still don't have that supply of that yet. So what I want to do, eventually, let's see, where else could we get oats? Probably don't want to go over here. And this is driving me nuts now. We are going to, now that we can't get that building in there, I want to bring these back to like that. I think that'll just look nice. And we can put, I don't know, decoration in there or something. But for now, I like that. Okay, so now our houses here, they have enough stuff that we can go ahead and upgrade them. So when you upgrade, you have to be careful. When we click on this, watch this, we'll click on this one. I like to upgrade near the market just for realism. We have a new type of person here. And it reduced the farmer workforce and added the worker workforce, the plebeians. And so as we do this, you're seeing our workers are going down. We're spending wood to upgrade here. But the important thing is that the plebeians pay more in taxes. So if we come here to here, you can now see, if we click on that, and then go to, it doesn't show me, land taxes. Here we go. So we have fewer of them, right? But we have about the same. Interesting. I think it should have them pay more taxes, but it isn't doing it yet. Maybe because we have to provide their goods. So if we click here now, we can see what they want. So they want bread and garum. The bread production chain requires wheat, which we have automatic fertility. Then we can turn that into grain, which will require a river slot, which we'll talk about in a moment, and then bakery. Garum is going to require mackerel, which we have here. That is one that you have to have a fertility for. And then salt ponds, which goes on the harbor. And then we can create garum. So what we're going to do, and we need to create tiles as well now, because these homes require tiles to upgrade. And not only that, but the bakery requires tiles to build, the grain mill requires tiles, and the wheat farm requires tiles. So the first thing we're going to do is get our clay production going. Clay pit requires a river slot. So you can see we have these different spots where we can put river slot buildings. And so to create that, we're going to also need to get the get another warehouse. And I think what I want to do then, see, we're going to need a river slot for the grain mill. So I want 2 river slots that are close together. We're going to get the warehouse out here then. So we'll come in here, and I want the warehouse to be, let's say, here. And we'll bring a road along this way and through the woods. Nice direct route right out here. And we're going to go with the clay first. We'll put one here. And that should be close enough to the warehouse. Very good. Now the warehouse automatically connects to here. So that is really good. And the clay is going to produce at 30 seconds, and then the tiler at 1 minute. Do we have a third one? We do. We can put this here, but it is on the other side of the river, which is unfortunate. I suppose we could do that. I think we'll just leave it the way it is. So we're going to have just one, and then we want the tiler. Now the tiler is going to have -2 to fire safety. So in a little bit, we're going to need to build fire safety. We won't be able to, or like build a fire department. We can't do that yet. But because we're going to want to have some of that near we're going to want to have that be near other things, we're going to go ahead and put that here. Because when we get the fire safety, we're going to want that nearby. Although this does need to, okay, we're going to put it actually near this port. Because we'll get a fire department down here, and that will be connected to the other stuff. So we are producing clay. It will come out here, and that is taking 3 plebeians to produce. And then it will come over here, and we have 4 plebeians working there. You can go ahead and upgrade a few more homes. We want to keep a nice balance, but we can get several upgraded there. Now, we'll go ahead and get wheat going, and we want to make sure that is close enough to a warehouse, of course, so we might put that here. We need tile, though, so I think we'll get this here. But it won't build because we don't have the tile yet. So let's fast forward a little bit. And actually, before I do that, we want to get our ship, and let's send them kind of over in here and start seeing what is right around us right now. So they're already going. We have this one near us, which doesn't really have anything different. You want to make sure that okay, it does. It has marble and sturgeon, mineral, and gold. We have gold here, so it's only changing those 3. But that would be a good one to look into possibly settling. Okay, another person introduced themselves, but I also just remembered we need charcoal as well. So we've got another resource down here, and that is going to need another forest, which thankfully we've got one right over here. Let's go ahead and use this one. And that will produce, you know what, I'm going to go ahead, because that is going to have fire safety problems. We're going to put this over in here, because I think we definitely are going to just want to get a fire department out here. But that will get the charcoal going and producing so that it can have the production here. Okay, so Diana is over here, and this is another person to trade with, I believe. Let's see. Yep, we've got trade rights there. They want hand mirrors, pigs, and bird tongues. Interesting. And they offer timber and tiles, so we could buy tiles from them. if we had a ship for that. We don't want to use the flagship for it. Let's bring you over this way and see. Here's another island. They have olive fertility here and lavender. This one might be a good one to have our second one, because it is relatively near our island, which is right over here, I believe, but also isolated from Dorian. And we want to try to be as isolated as we can. We're still waiting for that tile to get built. Okay, we've got tiles now, so we're going to go ahead and slow back down, and we will get our wheat farm here. I've clicked on it, and we can click over here, construct the building, and then we can click on it again, and we can get a wheat farm. It needs a lot of space here. That's 140. I'm going to come in a tiny bit because we'll fill this as well, and then it needs almost one more row. Let's put it here. Yeah, okay, so that is now producing. We want to go back to build. That's for bread. And then we'll get a grain mill out here. And we'll get the road like that. And that's connected. Very good. So now we will be producing grain. That's at 30 seconds, or flour. And that is 1 minute. So that will produce the flour faster than the wheat farm. We could get a second one, but I'm not going to bother with that because we don't want to use the river slot on that. We've got another good island here that has lavender. Lavender would be nice to have. And then we've got another island there too. Let's go over there. This one has mackerel, or sturgeon, I mean, and then marble as well. So we've got several nice islands that could be developed as well. Then we need to get a bakery. The bakery is going to have -2 fire safety and +2 income. So it does need to be near town, but it's also going to make us need to have a fire station near town. And I think what we'll do, is that close enough? It needs to be close enough to a warehouse, of course. So we'll put that here. That will require 3 tiles to build first, though. Okay, so at this point, I'm pretty happy with the exploration we've done. I will send it around. I have it moving now one more time over this way, but then I'm going to bring it back to port and have it just kind of camp here for a little bit, because we don't have the money to settle any other island yet, but we can now come in here and build our bakery. So now when you click on a house, you can go into their food category, and they will get bread provided. That should be the last step in the food chain. Yeah, the bakery also needs charcoal. So one thing we need to check is, let's see, the charcoal is being produced at 30-second production time, and that is needed at the tiler, which has a 1-minute production time, and at the bakery, which has 1 minute. So we should get by with just 1 charcoal production, and that should be fine. Now, unfortunately, a lot of these are costing maintenance cost and not producing enough stuff for them. So what I want to do is get more people, because more people will generate more money. And we'll go ahead and put more houses here. And let me show you, if you go to copy, we could just copy these and copy it in a whole block. And I want to get several blocks here. And then we'll just come back with the road and put roads around all of those. So that should help produce much more money. Yeah, you can see our residences are going up, our balance is getting better, and we should start to produce more money as soon as that bakery is going as well, because that is going to give us more money. What does it do? Area effect is +2 to income. So that will give us a lot in that area effects and specialists. Yeah, so you can see we're making money now. That is good. Our ship is not moving despite its orders. There we go. So our city status has increased because the population got big enough. So now we need to go to fire or city watch here and get a city watch. This will be a firefighting thing. And again, we do have the bakery here is generating fire problems. So we want to go ahead and get a fire watch in town. Let's put that, I wish we could fit it right here, but it will not fit there. We'll put it right next to the bakery. We want one there, and then we want another one out here. And of course, that is going to they take 5 tiles each. So we need to get those. And you can see our income is way better now because we have more population and we are making great progress. As soon as we get that tile, then we will go ahead there. We've got one. We'll build this here, which will give fire safety. If you come over here, you can see the total fire safety is currently minus 30, which means we will probably have a fire at some point. Incident threat is now moderate fires, and frequency is pretty infrequent. But once we get another one, that will improve even better. So that will be really good. Island health will build some other things at some point to help with that as well. There we have a lot of new options available in terms of military, and that is under the plebeians. Actually, under other stuff. But let's come in here and we can see what we've unlocked. We've unlocked the Sanctuary and the Grammaticus. The Sanctuary will increase belief. The Grammaticus will increase knowledge. So those are great things to have. And if we go back to construction, you can see we can now build military buildings, which can help protect our island. And we can build a villa, which will give us prestige. If we have that near all of the buildings, it will generate a pretty big prestige, and we can put a specialist in there. But it does cost 50 gold or a denarii to maintain. So we're going to wait on that, especially because our production has gone, or our income has gone down a bit. And our ship is done exploring with everything. We're going to go ahead and bring it home. We've got the tiles to go ahead and come in here and build our city watch here. So that is great. What I really want to do, though, is I want to get a harbor, but we can't quite do the harbor yet. We need to get 200 plebeians before we can do that. So let's just make sure that we're getting houses upgraded. We do have... In general, what I like to do is I like to upgrade so that we have as many of the highest level workforce as possible. We'll go ahead and upgrade a few around here. And we should be able to see now, let's just go ahead and highlight more of that. If we go into our income here, look at that. We have enough that we can build raw materials. And we go to governance, we can see now we have 32 plebeians and we're getting almost 10 gold for each of those. Whereas the Libertas, we don't get quite as much gold for each of those. So that's good. Now we've unlocked more things there, but more importantly, we have unlocked the shipyard, which is really what I want here. We're going to put that here. And that is going to, it immediately built. We had enough stuff there. But before we can do anything with that, we need to get ropes and sails. So ropes are going to need more hemp, and then the rope master. Sails will require sheep, and then the sail. Let's go ahead and check on our hemp supply. If you click on your port or warehouse, you can see what you have. We only have 2. So I'm guessing, let's see, the hemp goes into the other stuff. This is producing at 1 minute, and that comes into the spinner, which is also at 1 minute. So we need to increase our hemp production, and we'll get that over here. That requires 60 in the field, so it can go right there. And then we'll get the rope master in here as well. So that should get our rope production going. And then we'll get another sheep, although let's check our supply there. Sheep we have, that's pigs, 75. We have full production there, so we don't need to build another sheep thing. We can just go ahead and build the sail maker. It's going to take it's going to take more tiles, which we don't have yet. And I kind of want to put it right by the sheep. Let's go ahead and get it here. We'll bring a road this way, like that. Of course, it's going to need, there we go, we've got the tile for that. So that is going to start to produce the sails as well. Now, a quest has come up. If we click on them here, we can see what they want. There's a new hire at the local taberna who claims he can cook anything. Something might be fishy here. I don't mean the garum, okay? Let's say yes. Look for the cook at the tavern. Okay, so we want to go on a slow speed so that we can find the cook. We go around and just move the cook, or like click and stuff. Where can we find the cook? The mad cook. Okay, yeah, I know that. I don't see the mad cook. Oh, and now we come over here. Okay, requisition the oleum. So we're going to send our ship here. That will be good. But in the meantime, we should be producing sails now. So we can come here, you can see, yep, we are producing that. So that is good. That will help us get a trade ship. And what I want to see next, let's click on the plebeian houses. And what do they need? They need garum. Let's go ahead and work on that now. So the garum, we're going to need mackerel, which we have on this island. So we can go ahead and put that here and get the road a little bit further along here. And I think what I want to do is just bring it like that and have a little boardwalk there for further production too, like salt ponds. Get that there. Those both took, well, the mackerel took farmers and the salt ponds took plebeians. And then we want to get the garum, which is going to have an area effect of income, but a negative effect of happiness. So that is the downside. I'm going to go ahead and put it near the water, because we don't have positive happiness right now anyway. This is going to need, that's it, that's all it will need. Happiness, we have area effect of negative 12. We have some, oh yeah, from the charcoal is having a negative effect on those 3 buildings, which isn't terrible. We can deal with that. But that should get the garum production going right here. We just need to get these done, mackerel, and that, and the salt. Okay, our ship is over here. We can finish this part. We want to click on here, and yes, requisition that. Free of charge, way to go. Okay, and now we need to go back to the trading post, and it will deliver it. And then we can deliver it when we get back. In the meantime, now we should be getting the garum. Oh, not yet. We're not quite there. It will be produced. It's being produced. It will get there. Then we need to move on to the next thing, public service category. We need a sanctuary and a grammaticus. So the sanctuary, let's see. I wanted to put the villa there, I think. The sanctuary will go ahead and put it over here. It should get a nice area effect there. Though maybe what we'll do is we'll put it angled here. Put it like that. It's going to need more tiles, I presume. We can bring the path there and then there. And another thing you can do is you can come in here and go to ornaments. And I want a ground pattern. We're going to go ahead and have flagstone in the center there. We can't get it on the road itself, but we can come in here and we can put, let's put like a fountain. Do we have a fountain? Yeah, here. Put a fountain in the center there. And that will just give us a little bit of nice decor in there, and it will increase our prestige, which is shown. Where is it? Here, island prestige. Ornaments, we're getting 18 from that, so that'll be good. The sanctuary, we need one more tile, so we should get that pretty quickly, and then that will really be nice. Okay, we've got that tile. We can go ahead and build the sanctuary. That will start to provide more island belief, which you can see we've got a boost from the needs, and then also from the area effect, and that also increases happiness. So we've got some really nice stuff there as well. We don't have a patron here. Patrons, so yeah, I clicked it from the sanctuary, but you can also get that from here. Religion, and we can select a different patron. We can go series. I think, yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Could select a global patron. I don't know, that's just showing the different ones. Or we could do one of these other ones. So we can do Neptune, which will increase the production at this island of the different stuff. We can't do that one yet. We're that one. Let's come down here. Neptune would increase garum, mackerel, and salt, which we're making here. I think for now we do series, because I guess that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4. We're not making the other things. So we'll go ahead with series. That just will increase some of our production. You can see now when you click on the sanctuary, it shows your active island patron. Okay, now our quest here, we can deliver that. And that should be the quest. Return to the Mad Cook. Okay. I want the Mad Cook. Yes, I'm back I'm back at the main Mad Cook. Make a choice. Mad Cook is poised to prepare a portion, provided he is provided with provision, so we can only give him hemp. Let's go ahead and do that. And then sample it. And it is a sandal. But it tastes good, apparently. So let's go ahead and if I don't have a villa. Okay. So we might have a specialist that we can add to the villa. Now, yep, we have a specialist here. It would increase the happiness, health, and knowledge from the tavern. That is all worth going with. So we're going to go ahead and go into our villa set, and we're going to build our villa here. I want that right there. That is going to need 5 tiles. So, yep, we need more tiles to build that. We've got the tiles now. Let's go ahead and build the villa. And then we can click on the villa, and we can click on a specialist slot and hire the cook. So now we're getting the benefit from that, and that will be really useful. But also, our governor villa is going to be a target of any military action. So if Dorian were to attack us, which he shouldn't because he's not very aggressive, and we are at peace, we should be okay. Now, we're at all-out war with the raiders, so I am a little concerned that we'll have that, but for now, I think it shouldn't be too bad at all. We should not have any major concern there. I am a little bit worried about fire safety. So one thing that we now have... Oh, no, we need the... I'm going to go back to the plebeians, and we're going to build the Grammaticus, which will increase our knowledge and then make it possible for us to... what is the word I'm looking at? Research. That is what we're going to do. I want this... I want to get lots of buildings impacted by this. I think we'll put it over here. I want to make sure that primarily our plebeians are getting the benefit of it, which I think we're going to have to get 2 of them. But for now, we'll put this here. It's only going to impact 11 buildings there, though. So we'll put it here instead. It'll get 16 buildings. It does need 10 tiles, so we're going to have to wait a moment for that. In the meantime, while we wait for those tiles, we do have the ability to build some ships. We can get a trade ship, or we can get a military ship. I think we'll just go with a trade ship for now. It will have enough hit points and stuff that it should be okay. And what I want to do is I want to eventually get a trade deal or a trading going with this one over here. I think, let's see, not diplomacy. I want the trade routes. Trade routes. We want to sell, they want oats and clay over here. So we're going to go to this one. Yeah, because we have those already. So we'll be able to get that trade route going. But we do need the excess oat. So I think what we'll do, we don't have a ton right now. Let's get more oats going. And let's see, we've got a warehouse out here. Let's go ahead and get some farms here. So I want to go back to here to Porridge where the oat farm is. And let's bring a road right down here. And we can get an oat farm here and bring the field this way. Actually, sometimes it's hard to decide how you want it to go. I want it like this here. Then we'll just bring a little bit more here to fill it out. And then I want to copy that, put it here, and then the same thing like that. Okay, so now we've got 2 more oat farms, so we should get more oat production. So we're going to go to trade routes. We want to do a new trade route. We're going to add our cargo ship now, Pentaconter, and we want to start at our island, and we're going to end over here. And at our island, we're going to load oats. We can do 50, and we're going to unload there. You're going to go back and forth, back and forth. What we could buy, what do they offer there again? They offer sardines and amphorae. We don't want either of those. We're just going to sell. So we can establish that, and that should immediately start trading. So they're going to come over here. And another thing, they took all of our oats. So another thing we want to do is we want to maintain a minimum stock, 25. It should not make a difference right now, but it should, actually, we'll go ahead into all goods and say minimum of 25. So none of our trade routes will take any unless they have more than 25 in the stock. Okay, now we have enough tile. We can go ahead and build that. And now we can research. We'll come in here to research. And the first thing I want to do is actually, see, right click on your mouse to move it around. I want to go and the well, I want to find the well because the well is, those are watchtowers. I think it's over here somewhere. Paved roads, warehouses, safe havens, drainage. No, I guess it is civic. Here it is. I want to get to here, to wells. So I've clicked on it and it automatically started to research the quarter mastery, and then we can get down to wells. So that'll be good. Now we've had a pop-up here. Some people have arrived at the villa, and they're people we can hire. So this one, Brutus, wants to do a lot of work. He can work really hard. This one is a reliable landlord. Let's go ahead and say, well, I've made my choice. So we can get plus 20% workforce from the residents, or we can get a income area benefit. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to hire Gaius, and we can put him immediately here. So that's going to make the market an even better market. And our trade ships cost money, but we should have made some money from, oh yeah, here, trade estimate. We should have +4 to the trade. So we're losing money on that, but that will get better as we're producing more and more oats. I think we'll get 2 more of these going. Let's go ahead and copy all of this. If we put it here, it's still close enough. So that's good. And then we want to rotate this by using the greater than and less than symbols. I'll put that here. So now we really should be producing a lot of oats. What are we at? We're at 24. It's not going to pick up any this time. So right now it's empty, but that's fine. Yeah. Minor issue, it did not get any That's fine. It's not going to matter because by the time it comes back, we're going to have more oats, and that will be worthwhile. Meet your emperor. Okay, we can hail him or remain silent and have reputation change go down. I think that was an easy choice. And that is where we will end part 1 of this beginner's guide. So I hope you have enjoyed this. Be sure to click on the video on the screen. It should be more Anno 117 content or the next one in the series of the beginner's guide if it is available. But again, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and I will catch you next time. Take care.